Have you ever been to a magic show and seen incredible card tricks? I have. I remember thinking of this word. Impossible. Was that how you felt? And sometimes when you tell someone else, you want to emphasize the fact that it was impossible even more. And you might say this: the magic trick seemed completely impossible. Or maybe your reaction was not quite that it was impossible, but still you might think this instead: it was good. Or perhaps it was a rather good trick. Two different adjectives to describe what you saw: impossible and good. But there are particular rules you must follow for each word, and they cannot overlap. And that is this: I cannot say the magic trick seemed rather impossible. I cannot do that. I need to keep with words such as completely. Why is that? Well, words such as rather tell us how much the adjective is. But with the word impossible, either something is impossible or not impossible. There is no in between. Good is different though. Good can be rather good, or it could be very good, but it cannot be completely good. This would be wrong. Completely is the wrong word to go before good. Why is that? Because good is not an extreme word. Good is not always just good or not good. It can be somewhere in the middle. It could be fairly good instead. The difference here is that impossible is what is called a non-gradable adjective, and good is a gradable adjective. Non-gradable adjectives can only be emphasized. They cannot be changed to be a part, a bit, a lot. You cannot do that. We can only add words that emphasize them more. These are called intensifiers. Here are a list of common non-gradable adjectives and some intensifiers that go with them. Let's look at the words on the right first. So we have amazing, brilliant, disgusting, excellent, impossible, massive, terrible, unique, and whole. All of these words are non-gradable adjectives because they are either at one extreme or the other. They're either yes or no, all or nothing. With these words, we can only use other words in front of them that emphasize them. Completely amazing, absolutely brilliant, totally disgusting, utterly excellent. These words completely, absolutely, totally and utterly emphasize the fact that they are extreme. So these kind of words go with non-gradable adjectives. But good, as we've mentioned, is different. Good is gradable because it can be somewhere in between good and not good. These are called gradable adjectives, and here are some other gradable adjectives. Focus on the words on the right first of all. So we have bad, good, important, nice, pleasing, small, ugly, valuable, and weak. These are all common gradable adjectives because we can say how much of the adjective there is. So words such as slightly, fairly, somewhat, rather, very, and really can describe these adjectives further and tell us how much. Slightly would be a small amount. Fairly, somewhat, and rather are in the middle. Very and really would be a higher level of the adjective. Really can go with some non-gradable adjectives too, but usually it goes with gradable adjectives. These words, slightly, fairly, somewhat, rather, very, and really, these are called mitigators, and they tell us how much of the adjective there is. Completely, absolutely, totally, and utterly are intensifiers. They simply emphasize the word that comes after them. So non-gradable adjectives and gradable adjectives, you need to know which adjective goes in which category, because it would be a mistake to use an intensifier with a gradable adjective. So it would be a mistake to say totally important, and it would also be a mistake to use a mitigator with a non-gradable adjective. For example, somewhat massive. That would be a mistake. So it's important to learn which words are intensifiers, which words are mitigators, and which words they can go with, the gradable adjectives or non-gradable adjectives.